On November 22nd, I pumped just a little bit of money into the economy by participating in Black Friday. November 22nd was a Wednesday, so obviously Black Friday is now like Black Friday week. But nonetheless, we got a ton of packages here, so we're going to go through a bunch of it. But in essence, this is going to be the Switch Christmas special, where the last two Black Fridays, I've been buying a bunch of Switch games to sort of catch up the collection because I was a little behind getting a Switch, and now catching up has just become a bad financial decision over and over again. But that's okay. That's okay. It's for your entertainment. In fact, this Switch Christmas special is going to have more than just stuff I bought at Black Friday. Some stuff that I got for my birthday a little over a month ago. Some stuff that came in from limited run games, some stuff that came in from premium edition games. So just a little bit of everything, but I think without further ado, we'll get right into the packages. Well, before we get into the packages, here are some games that are not in packages that I've just gotten that obviously didn't make sense to keep in a package because I didn't get it in a package. But that's okay. So in the spirit of Nihon no Konyo Henshokai being a little dead right now, I haven't had a chance to really research for those videos, but we do have two Japanese Switch games that are good placed in this video, I think. The first one is Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Saikyo Battle Royale. This is a 2021 kind of spin-off to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. It's a competitive game where you play these rush duels where your goal is to just play as many cards as you possibly can, and the game ends when nobody has any cards left over. I was a huge fan of growing up. I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was growing up, so kind of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Merchandise is kind of my thing. But if there's one thing Yu-Gi-Oh! Does that Pokemon is a little bit better at, is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Feeds into nostalgia like way more. Like, I know that seems like a lot, but if you see the amount of like classic collections or classic limited editions that come out for Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's kind of crazy. So I'm glad I don't collect Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards anymore. But nonetheless, I came across this one and its 2022 sequel, during the Japanese game shopping not that long ago. So picked up both. Now I can play a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game in Japanese, as if that was, definitely on my to-do list. Some other games that I got from birthdays and Christmas yesterday, as of recording. First one, Disney Illusion Island. Disney, you should know by now I love Disney, but I heard this game is pretty good. It's a great co-op experience, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing this one. You'll also notice that I am not going to go super into detail because we got a lot of games to get through. Next one, Hogwarts Legacy. Got into Harry Potter just a few years ago, and now it's kind of me and my sister's thing. So this I will definitely want to play at some point because I've heard Hogwarts Legacy is really good. Don't know about the Switch version. Everybody I've talked to has played it on PS5. So we'll see how the Switch game runs. No big deal. Another one, Metroid Prime Remastered. I think I've talked about Metroid Prime at some point in the past. Yeah, I think it was over the summer in a month in review. But Metroid Prime is lauded as one of like the best games of all time, and it was brought to Switch this past year. So a good way to wrap up 2023 with a game that came out in 2023. Some more that I got that are just not in packages. Sonic Superstars, a new 2D Sonic game, which is pretty exciting. Haven't had a chance to play it yet, but definitely want to crack this at some point because the only Sonic game I've ever played was on the Game Boy Advance, only like 20 years ago. Next one, game I'm also super excited for. As soon as it was announced in the Nintendo Direct, I fell in love with the visuals. So definitely want to get to this at some point. But it's a Konami game, Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. We don't have Guitar Hero anymore, even though like Rock Band's coming to Fortnite. But so we need new rhythm games. We need good rhythm games. I've been playing a little bit of Rhythm Heaven the past few weeks on the Wii. Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii. So we're gonna play Super Crazy Rhythm Castle on the Switch. What else do you do naturally? Next one, series I've never really delved into. I kind of, to be fair, I kind of buy the games because of the one word in the title. Because Shrek, this is Tactics Ogre Reborn. But I believe Tactics Ogre came out on the PS1, probably almost 30 years ago at this point. Oh, almost 30 years ago. PS1's not that old yet. But super expensive game back then, and just they keep finding ways to port it and make new games, and it's really exciting. Give people in my era a chance to play the games. Last one before we actually get into opening packages. We have 60 in one game collection. There is a 30 in one game collection that came out a few years ago. So as soon as I saw 60 in one game collection, I was like, wait, they added more. So it looks almost the exact same to 30 in one game collection, except there's 60 in this one. So at some point, I will have to get to this one as well. Okay, those are all the loose games. So now we're going to get into the packages. I got my handy dandy Wallet Ninja here for us to get through them. I bought games from Best Buy and Target. Chose not to buy from Walmart because Walmart's website was kind of confusing during Black Friday. So I chose not to buy anything because I already had a few things in my cart from Target and Best Buy. And I didn't buy anything from GameStop. So last year, GameStop screwed me over. They said a package was delivered, even though the package was delivered, but the contents of said package were not what they said it was going to be. It said there was going to be 6 games in the package. There was only 1 with the exact same tracking number, so I'm not crazy. And I never got a refund for those. I tried reaching out to their customer service over and over and over again, and they never did a damn thing for me. So no longer buying from GameStop. And I don't mean to slander, but like maybe consider the same. So we got packages from Best Buy, from Target. There's also a bunch of limited run packages. So limited run games produces limited run games that they only put out in certain quantities or only do a certain limited time release, and they only make enough pre-orders to match those needs. And to be totally fair, limited run is very known for having bad shipping times, but they have been on the ball this month. I think I got 4 packages this month from orders that were placed over a year ago. So they did a good job getting these packages out before the new year. So that's cool. And also there should be 1 package in here from Premium Edition Games, who is like limited run. I've met them a couple times at Too Many Games and I think Retro Game Con. Cool guys. They don't have nearly as many releases as limited run, but I would definitely recommend checking them out because they're fantastic and they're really, really good guys. So without actual further ado, let's start opening up packages. I did write which game is in each one on each of these packages for the sake of me checking to make sure I don't get game stopped again. But I don't think we're going to have that issue. So this first package, we have The Last Worker, which is kind of interesting looking. It looks like there's a machine coming out. You'll also know that when I'm buying these games, I have a bad habit of just buying things because they look cool. And that's the extent of my Black Friday shopping. So keep that in mind as we go. It just kind of looks cool with a cool name. I have no idea what it's about. So that's that, The Last Worker. Next. We're getting there, I swear. Next one is a Remnant from the Ashes. You see these Best Buy stickers. I don't remember if that's the price that I paid for it or not, but I don't know. It looks pretty cool. If this is a shmup, or not a shmup, a shooter, I don't know if I will get around to it, but nonetheless, it looks pretty cool. Next one is Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the Cosmic Edition. Surprisingly, this game came out, this year or 2022, and this game was on sale for like $15, so that's a great deal. And I picked this one up. I think the regular edition was also on sale for $15, but I'm like, let me get the Cosmic Edition. That's so cool. I also know it's kind of funny. I don't remember, is it Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle? This is the sequel to that game, but Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle was getting super cheap because GameStop kept making it cheaper and cheaper, and then out of nowhere it just became randomly expensive. So I remember that happening. So maybe it'll happen to this one, but not that I'm here for the value. We're here for the game. Last one. This one also has my personal information on it because it's got a sticker. Let me see if I get the sticker off. Doesn't look like I can get the sticker off. That's okay. So I'll just cover that up. But the game is Hello Neighbor, which is just kind of a funny name for a game. I believe we may or may not have Hello Neighbor 2 somewhere in this. I wish you could see this thing of packages because it's intense. So we'll get to it all at some point. But yeah, Hello Neighbor, cool name. I also don't know where I'm going to put all these games. That's going to be an issue for another time. What's next? Yes. Oh my god, this one's actually really big. Okay, first one in this package is Just Die Already, which is kind of it is a funny name, not kind of a funny name. It is a funny name. So, Just Die Already, I guess. That's not a threat, that's just the name of the game. Next one, I did not know it was going to be this freaking big. Holy smokes. That's okay. I bought the Trinity Trigger Day 1 edition, and it was really cheap, and it was a Day 1 edition, so I'm like, oh, cool, it'll have, something included in it that makes it kind of neat. I didn't expect the whole box. We're going to have trouble fitting this on the shelf, I think. But nonetheless, pretty cool. I know nothing about Trinity Trigger, but it looks cool. It's a big box. It's bigger than the normal Switch cases, oh boy. What's next? We'll get to this one. All right. Up next is Rico London. I think Rico is a like racketeering, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I think we're racketeering in this game. It looks a little dangerous. So we're gonna do some racketeering in London, if I actually know what I'm talking about. Cool. The other one, which I have heard really good things about, I have a friend who's super into this whole series, a friend that was really into this game, and I believe bought it at launch. Nintendo Life also raved about it in their 2023 games in review. So this is a good one to get. Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. So I believe it's Final Fantasy based rhythm game. It's a Final Fantasy based rhythm game with songs from the Final Fantasy universe, and it's a rhythm game, and it's supposed to be pretty good. So pretty good things about it. Never played a Final Fantasy game in my life, but we'll probably give this a shot at some point. Probably give it a shot with somebody who actually knows Final Fantasy. No big deal. Okay, so this game, this is actually one that I got way back in September, and I was waiting for a time to include it with other games because I didn't know where it would fit in the videos I was making at the time. But this is actually a limited run game, but it was shipped from Best Buy. I think I bought it not this past September, the September before that, and I finally got it in September, but didn't really have a time to put it in a video, so I guess I just kind of waited for this. It's the Contra Anniversary Collection, so despite the fact that limited run is known for limited releases, they do have a partnership with Best Buy where they put alternate arts in the Best Buy stores. I think they also sometimes do it at Amazon. So it is one of their limited run releases, one of their numbered releases. So that's pretty cool itself. But now I have Contra. It's a super famous game. Ask your parents about it. They probably played it on the NES. Up next. Not that this video is at all sponsored by As Seen on TV, but the Wallet Ninja, best As Seen on TV product I've ever used. Okay, next one is actually a series I talked a little bit about in Nihon no Konu Henshokai. Talked about it in the Famicom episode, and this is Super Bomberman R2. I don't think I have Super Bomberman R1, but now I have Super Bomberman R2. Bomberman is a series of puzzle platformers, kind of action-y, with this little dude Bomberman. So now I can play more Bomberman on my Switch. What is next? All right. Limited Run gave me a coupon. Cool. This next one is from Limited Run. That didn't just give it away. This is Sword of the Vagrant. So Limited Run has the best job of making me buy games based on their packages and the few screenshots they give. So that's why I bought it. But I will also tell you it is dangerous watching their Limited Run directs where they announce all the games that they are bringing to Switch and PS4, PS5 because every game looks really good and they do a really good job of picking games. So this is one of them. Couldn't tell you anything about it, but now I have Sword of the Vagrant. What's next? It also probably would have been easier to just use a scissor, now that I'm thinking about it, but that's okay. We're having a good time together. Next is Ghost Song. Couldn't tell you anything about it, but it looks cool, doesn't it? And it's got a cool name, Ghost Song. Oh God, this is becoming an issue. Oh well, that's fine. Oh, what's next? Also, you know, this was being filmed the day after Christmas, so it kind of feels like Christmas Part 2 opening a bunch of packages, and they're all Switch games. That's pretty based. Next is, oh, I'm definitely going to say this one wrong. Mato Anomalies, or it might be Mato, M-A-T-O Anomalies. It's kind of funny when you buy a game, you don't even know how to pronounce it, but there you go. Mato Anomalies. It looks pretty cool. It says dark visual novel meets turn-based RPG combat. That's all you need to know about this game. What's next? This one. This one's in a like cardboard container. Okay, this one came from Target, but it was through an independent seller on Target, but that's okay. It's Four Tails, so I think there's supposed to be a play on here with tails, with I think everything's an animal. Not gonna lie, it kind of looks like something out of Robin Hood, if it was like way more action-y than the Disney movie. But yeah, Four Tails, a card-based narrative journey. I did not read that subtext before I bought the game. I do these things to myself. What's next? Next up is Proteus, or Proteus. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Another example of not knowing how to pronounce the games that I buy. That's okay. Resurrect the chaos of first-person shooters of old. Yeah, I don't really play first-person shooters, so why did I buy this? Because it looked cool. Nonetheless, still pretty neat. We'll go to this one next. We have a DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. I believe this game came out not all that long ago. It might have came out in like September. So the fact that it was on sale for Black Friday. Oh, that's the other thing. Most of the games I bought at Black Friday were on sale. I try not to buy games that are not on sale, just kind of taking advantage of said sale. So that's usually why I buy so many of them, just because they're on sale. But, you know, we love Shrek. We love DreamWorks. So we got on here. We got Shrek characters. We got Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, Boss Baby. What else? Those are the ones I know. There's a few more on here that I don't know. I think Trolls is on here too, but I've never seen Trolls. That's okay. It's Shrek Racing. That's all you need to know. There was a Shrek Racing in the early 2000s definitely on PS2 and Game Boy Advance, and I think probably other systems as well. But, you know, in 2023, we get another Shrek Racing game. It's another great day in paradise. What's next? Mildly big package. Okay, we have a Samba de Amigo, Party Central. So Samba de Amigo was a Dreamcast game back in the 90s that was super popular amongst Sega owners. And I actually have the Japanese version of the game that I bought at Too Many Games, I'm pretty sure. And now I have the game that they made for the Switch. So I believe that Dreamcast game was then ported, I think, not remade, ported to the Wii. That's definitely wrong. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but there was a Wii game under the name Samba de Amigo, but this is the first game we've gotten since that Wii game in the Samba de Amigo series. So now we can play more rhythm games with maracas, but it didn't come with maracas, so that's kind of tragic. Probably just use the Joy-Cons. Next one is Days of Doom. It's by Atari, so that's one thing, but turn-based tactics RPG by Atari. I'm sure this is the best game of 2023. Released in 2023, nonetheless. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it looks cool. What next? Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, the Ecto Edition. I have never seen Ghostbusters before. I have maybe consumed that media when I was in preschool, in like daycare, where they had Ghostbusters on. Couldn't even tell you if that's true or not, but I just kind of remember some of the characters. And apparently this cover glows in the dark. It's kind of also, it's got like texture to it too. That's pretty neat. But you know, super cheap games for series that I've heard of. That's usually a one-way ticket to me to buy a game. But cool. Next is Lego Jurassic World. Big Jurassic World fan. I am in the minority that really does enjoy the Jurassic World movies. Some people say they're really bad, but I really like them a lot, actually. So Jurassic World's great. Not really a big Lego fan, but Jurassic World, we gotta buy everything Jurassic World, right? There's a way more games too. I think there's also a Jurassic World like tycoon type game. I don't have that, but I think it was only released on PS4. I gotta check that, but that might be another game to get. So nonetheless, pretty cool. Next one. Oh, this is very interesting. I've noticed a lot of these games are by Humble Games. Never heard of them before, but now I think I am just kind of noticing this now. This is Moonscars. Also very scary. Trying to see what kind of game this is. Honestly, it kind of looks like a 2D platformer. Pretty cool. All right, Moonscars. What's next? Oh, we'll go for this one. I was going to leave some of the packages for last because we got a bunch of envelopes still to go through, but we'll open a package. This one should have 6 games in it, and sure enough, it does. Cool. Does this one have a free coupon in it too, Limited Run? No, it doesn't look like it. That's okay. That's fine. This one's from Limited Run. I don't remember when this order was made. I want to say early this year, probably. That's okay nonetheless. We have Skeletac, which is looks like a platformer where you play as a skeleton and you're attacking things, hence the name Skeletac. Next is Extreme Sports, which is just an awesome name. It's by WayForward, which I believe are the same people that made Shantae. The classic action sports RPG returns. Oh, you know what? I think Extreme Sports, I think there was a game like maybe on... It says 2000 WayForward. There was definitely a game released before this one. I don't know if this is a port or if it's like a sequel, but Extreme Sports has come out before. I just can't remember where. Honestly, Game Boy Color is what's popping into mind, but I don't know if that's true. But still very cool. Extreme Sports is a great name. The next one is A Boy and His Blob Retro Collection. So A Boy and His Blob is a very, very charming series of games. There was the one on the NES. There was a canceled game on the DS. And then the next one was on the Wii. And this one has... I think... Oh, there might have been... Was it on the Game Boy too? I don't know, but there is a Game Boy game-looking game on the back here. So one of these must be the NES game. The other one might be a Game Boy game. I can't remember now. Probably look that up. As you can tell, I'm doing this off the cuff. That's okay. But this one, I have A Boy and His Blob, the Switch port. I already had that. That was also from Limited Run, but this is the retro collection. So, had to pick it up. Who doesn't love A Boy and His Blob? Next is a game that I would probably never play on my own, but I remember it being in the first Limited Run Direct I ever watched, and I thought it was stunning, literally stunning. So this is Power Slave Exhumed. So Power Slave was on the PS1. I want to say it also came out on the Saturn. I could be wrong, but it came out almost 30 years ago. At this point, it's a Doom-like. That's what I would call it to somebody who doesn't know his Doom games. But it's a first-person shooter, kind of in the style of Doom, in my opinion, right? And it looked beautiful in their advertisement for it, in their trailer for it. And I was like, oh, I have to pick that up. I don't know if I'll actually give it a shot, but at least I have the option to play it now. There's that. Next one is, I believe this game came out this year. It doesn't say on the back. Okay, kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure this game came out this year. If it didn't come out this year, it came out late 2022. But this is Return to Monkey Island. I'm pretty sure Return to Monkey Island was in a Nintendo Direct. Probably July of 2022. I could be wrong about that. And it was released, but I don't think they gave it a physical release. And it was only released physically by Limited Run. So that's pretty cool that it gave it a life. But also, monkeys. If you've seen my videos before, I love Ape Escape. I love monkeys. So a game called Return to Monkey Island is just straight fantastic. The next one is a game that when I bought this one, I did not know much about the series, but during Nihon no Kuni no Henshokai, I learned a lot about this series. So this game is Shinchan, Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, The Endless 7-Day Journey. That title is a mouthful. But I learned about the Shinchan series from Felix at Nintendo Life because he was a big fan of the games. And then I got a bunch of the games during Nihon no Henshokai, showed them off during the Game Boy and Famicom episodes. And I didn't realize it at the time, but then I bought this game, which is kind of a neat inclusion. Even the sprite they have on the back is almost identical to the one we see on the covers of the Game Boy and NES or Famicom titles. So that's pretty cool. Shinchan games did not come to North America, so this might be the first one if I'm not mistaken, but still very, very cool otherwise to kind of come full circle with some of the games from the Japanese hall. Okay, what next? I will go back to some more envelopes. We still have quite a bit. Don't you worry. Go get your coffee. Go get what you need to do because we're not done here yet. Aha! We have We Love Katamari Reroll, Royal Reverie. I believe I watched a video by Rewind Arcade. That took me a second. Hi, Chris. I'm pretty sure my friend Chris at Rewind Arcade did a video on Katamari Damacy, and I learned a lot from his video about that. So, Katamari, you're just kind of rolling around, you're collecting material, and it looks cute. It looks fun. It kind of looks like a game for children, but I think it's it is rated E for everybody. So pretty cool. I think I watched his video after buying this game, but nonetheless, really cool to get a game in the Katamari series because I know a lot of people really do enjoy it. With that said, please go check out Chris at Rewind Arcade. He's a good friend. We share a love for Japanese games, so shout out to him. Next up, this one is also covered in my personal information because they put a sticker on it. Let's see if I can get it up before I show you. Almost. Keep going. We got this. No. We got this. We're getting there, I swear. And this one did actually come up nice. Okay, no personal information for you. But what you will get to see is You Suck at Parking, the complete edition. It's a racing game called You Suck at Parking. I don't know how you come up with a better Switch game title besides You Suck at Parking. So there you go. We got a Longhorn car in the front. This is the best game ever. Up next, another paper bag package. Ooh, this is a good one. So I believe this game came out this year. If it wasn't this year, was it February 2022? It would help if I could read on the back of these games, but I guess I can't. Whenever it came out in a February. I think it was February this year. I could be totally wrong because I was a little surprised when it was on sale. But nonetheless, we have Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. So Kirby's Return to Dreamland was a Wii game, and this is a port of the Wii game, which is pretty cool. I've never been super into the Kirby series. I played a little bit of Kirby Air Ride with my brother growing up. So I couldn't tell you much about the Kirby series, but Kirby's pretty universal. It's hard to not know Kirby. My connection to Kirby is usually playing as Kirby whenever I play Smash. And I'm not really good at Smash, so I usually just inhale people and then jump off the side. So it's kind of like a death for death, but it's kind of funny playing that way because I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time in fighting games. But nonetheless, cool game. A little surprised it was on sale for Black Friday, given that it was coming out this year. Or even if it didn't come out this year, Nintendo games so rarely go on sale. So it's cool to be able to add this to the collection on a somewhat budget, right? Up next, what do we got here? All right, another game in a series I've never played before because I don't know anything about fighting games. We have Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. Just looking at the back, there are 12 games included here. I believe there are way more in the Street Fighter series, but I see Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, is that a 3? Street Fighter 2 with an apostrophe, I think. Another Street Fighter 2. There must have been multiple Street Fighter 2s that I don't know about. Street Fighter 2, the new Challengers, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and a couple other Street Fighter games that I'm not going to take the time to read because you guys want to see other games. But cool that there's a collection for it, and apparently I only paid $20 for it, so that's a good deal. So now I can play more fighting games with myself, I guess. Cool. Next up is this one. Let's see. What do we have here? Best Buy had this game on clearance, and I was very surprised when they did because this game also came out very recently, so it must have not sold well. They're just trying to make room for other games. But Bayonetta 3 was on clearance at Best Buy. It was a $60 launch game by Nintendo. I just said Nintendo games don't really go on sale, and I think I got this for $40, which is a pretty good deal. I'm 99% sure I already have Bayonetta 1 and 2, and this is Bayonetta 3, so I think I have the trilogy on Switch now. But still, pretty cool nonetheless. It's a super popular hack and slash series. The games look really, really pretty. But now I can add another game to the collection. So I think that's it for the envelope. So we'll start getting into the big packages, which is very exciting. Don't show my personal info, but it says time-sensitive product. So this one must be very, very important. And now I don't need to try and rip into envelopes because they're just boxes. What do we got here? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. First one I'll show is Skull Island: Rise of Kong. We just talked about monkeys. I love monkeys. I've never seen any of the Kong movies or the Skull Island movies, but that looked. Oh my god, that actually looks awesome. Yo, he's beating up serpents, dude. I gotta play this. Monkeys. The next one, though, I know there's I hopefully know there's one friend watching this that really likes this sport, and she talks about it all the time, and it's Pickleball Smash. Couldn't tell you how funny it was to find a pickleball game on Switch. Pickleball's, for lack of a nicer way of putting it, was definitely considered like an older people's sport. I remember playing it in high school just thinking it was like some random game my high school teachers made up. But then I heard that like people in senior communities play it. And then my friend who is younger than me says she plays it, which is also hilarious. So now her and I can play Pickleball Smash on the Switch because where else would you play pickleball in the wintertime? Definitely not outside. It's too cold here in the Northeast. Oh, that's funny. Next one. What is this one? This one is from Premium Edition Games. So, like I said, Premium Edition is kind of like Limited Run, where they put out limited releases of games. But they are really, really, really great guys. Like I said, I talked to them a bunch of times. Strongly, strongly, strongly recommend checking them out if you ever see them at, say, like Too Many Games or Retro Game Con or other gaming conventions. Great guys, buy some of their games. They have some really cool games available as well. So, a couple games we got here. Also, their packages are absolutely awesome. So I'll start with Love 3. So their packages, all their games come in this super beautiful packaging, like super high quality, like boxes, not just plastic cases like Switch games normally do. And not that there's anything really wrong with these Switch games. I find them very charming, their packaging, but like this is really beautiful. So this is Love 3. Don't know anything about it, but it looks like a 2D platformer, kind of in the style of like an NES game, which actually is very pretty. Cool. Next one is Eagle Island Twist. This is number 12, just then since I'm looking at it. If Limited Run can get me to buy their stuff and Premium Edition puts out, a percentage of the games that Limited Run puts out, I'm probably going to buy a lot of Premium Edition games. So Eagle Island Twist, this also looks like a 2D platform, but also very pretty. As you can tell, I'm very easily impressed by graphics because I don't know anything about graphics and game design, but nonetheless, still very pretty. Also, apparently these two came with like dog tag keychains, which is pretty cool. Just realized that it's sitting in front of me. And the last one is Cathedral, which is an earlier premium edition game. Another 2D game, kind of looks like a Castlevania, honestly. With a name like Cathedral, it might as well be like a Castlevania. But yeah, also very, very pretty. So definitely, please go support premium edition games if you ever have the opportunity. Where do we go next? Oh, let's go to this one. This is my packages are falling. That's okay. This is a big limited run, and honestly, this is the one that kind of made me wait to make this video. So I know there is at least one game in this package that I was super, super looking forward to. And when I saw that a bunch of my other packages were on the way or getting delivered, I checked the status of this one, and it said that it is now shipping. So I was like, okay, hopefully this one comes in before I make the Switch Christmas special. And it came in on Saturday, the 23rd, and today is the 26th. So that's actually super fantastic. So I'm actually really excited to go through this one. I already know what packages I wanted to do last, but no, I'm glad I'm doing this one. So I was really excited for this package. Oh my god, there's so much in here. Let me get them all out first. All right, I'll get these two out of the way. Limited Run also sometimes publishes books on behalf of other authors and the like. So I did get two of their books. This is NES Works 1985-1986 and NES Works 1987. So now I have books on NES games from the early days. But I'm running out of space for books. I just bought a ton of Switch games. Where am I going to put all the Switch games, let alone the books? But still very cool. Also, the 1985-86 book looks like it covers a lot of the black box games, which is actually super exciting. So definitely if there's a series of games I wanted to read about, these two might be the ones. So books. Those aren't Switch games. They're books, but that's okay. That's cool. But let's go to the games. So, first two games are Atari Recharge Collection 1 and 2. So, Atari games, it's kind of a little place in my heart. My dad had an Atari growing up, and I have his Atari now after fixing it up to be able to play on modern TVs. So, Ataris, they're arcade games. If you've ever been to an arcade before, you've played an Atari game. And these are Recharge collections, so kind of updated visuals, updated gameplay for their classic arcade games. So Collection 1 has Asteroids Recharged and Breakout Recharged, and Recharge 2 has Black Widow Recharged and Centipede Recharged. I never played Black Widow, actually, so that's kind of interesting. But Asteroids and Breakout, I think everybody has played Asteroids and Breakout to this point. Breakout, it's Brick Breaker. How have you not played Brick Breaker before? So that's super cool. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Atari put those games out as single cartridges, and they're like super expensive, so I would not pay that much for an Atari cartridge, especially when most of them are dirt cheap to begin with, but that's okay. Next one is, I don't know how you don't find this charming or absolutely lovable. This is Skatebird. You're a bird, and you are skating, and your Tony Hawk is a bird. I doubt it's in the Tony Hawk engine, but yeah, how does this not absolutely beautiful to you? This is fantastic. Next one is just an interesting name. I don't even remember looking at this gameplay, but probably just bought it for the name. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is a great name in itself. Deep space is a dangerous place, but love will keep you together. There you go. So just kind of looks a little funny, but nonetheless still pretty cool. Next one is this is a word I think is being said a little bit more and more often now, which is just kind of funny, but it's Ayo the Clown. Some people just say Ayo, and it's kind of funny. So now you are Ayo the Clown, and it looks like a platformer where you also talk to people, and you must be a clown. So Ayo the Clown. Next one. Interesting visuals for sure. Definitely very interesting graphics. Very, very unique graphics. But this is Night in the Woods. And yeah, I definitely looked at this gameplay before I bought it. And because it probably isn't a game I would buy normally, but it looks very pretty. Pretty much that art style you see on the front is kind of representative of what the gameplay looks like. at least on the back that I can remember. But that looks pretty cool. But the last one from this order is one that I have been super excited for. So this is Humongous Classic Collection. And if there is a series of games I grew up playing on the PC in the early 2000s, it's pretty much every Humongous game. I played a ton of Backyard Baseball. I remember playing demos on the Backyard Baseball discs. But the biggest one, definitely far and away my favorite one, is Freddy Fish and the Kelp Seed Mystery. Or at the time it might have been called Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds. It's changed its name a little bit, but I played that Freddy Fish game over and over and over again. It's just a point and click. All of them are really point and click besides like the Backyard Baseball games. So there's a really, really special place in my heart for Humongous games. This one does not have the Freddy Fish game I played. It actually was ported to the Wii, so I have the Wii one, so if I ever want to play it that way. There might also be a video, hopefully in the near future, of me talking about the actual PC game itself, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Still got a couple packages here. But other Humongous games, if you aren't familiar with the characters, there's Pajama Sam, Spy Fox. Oh, Spy Fox and Dry Cereal, which was also ported to the Wii. I have that Wii game. Pajama Sam. I think I have both Pajama Sam games that were released, one on PS1 and one on Wii. I don't know if this is either one of them. I don't think so. But Pajama Sam, Freddy Fish, Putt Putt. Who doesn't love a good Putt Putt? But yeah, when I saw Limited Run had this, it was really expensive, so they probably paid a ton for that licensing, but so glad to have this. I'm so glad this finally came in. This is the one game that actually made me ridiculously excited for this package to come in, so I'm so glad I finally have it. Okay, we move on. We're getting there. We are getting there. Another package. For reference, in case you are, waiting to go downstairs for dinner or something, this is 6 to go. This is number 6 to go. So we're getting there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Oh man, this one's got a lot in it. Oh boy. All right. Holy smokes. Okay. Let me get all of them out so I get this box off my lap. Oh boy. Okay. Hopefully that's all of them. I gotta take a stock of all these too. I didn't know if all the games actually came in, if they were all packaged correctly. That's a problem for later. So we'll sort of just get through these. First one is Colors Live, and it comes with a pen. How cool is that? It's like You Draw, but in 2021 and on the Switch. I find it very interesting when Switch games come in with any game comes with weird inserts like this. I remember last year there was a Story of Seasons game that came with a little pink plush that my sister saw, and she was like, "Can I have that?" I'm like, "Yeah, what am I going to do with it?" So this is cool that it comes with a pen. I'm pretty sure this game is just You Draw. But, the insert makes it a really interesting, if nothing else, a footnote in Switch gaming releases. Next one is a game that I think came out this year, 2022. Dragon Quest Treasures. So Dragon Quest is a series I've kind of been adjacent on. Never played a game in its totality, but the games are very pretty. I believe this game was in a not a limited run, a Nintendo Direct, and I thought it was beautiful, so naturally I bought it. So there's Dragon Quest Treasures. Next one is and if I don't know if Dragon Quest makes it in at some point to Nihon no Konyo Henshokai, but Dragon Quest is a super, if not the king of JRPGs, one of the top 3 JRPGs ever. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon Quest makes an appearance there. Next one is Into the Breach. Looks like you're battling mecha characters, so that looks pretty cool. This game is also pretty heavy. There must be a big old manual in this one. So that's pretty cool. Into the Breach by Fangamer. Neat. I gotta start making some room for these games. Oh boy. Next one is another game that was released this year. No, 2022. I swear I know my ears. This is Harvestella. So Harvestella, there was a Nintendo Direct that was just jam-packed with farming sim games. And this is one of them, which is just kind of funny. So Harvestella, this one looks very pretty. It's kind of like a farming sim, but then becomes an RPG with really, really cool battles. So, again, super pretty, but really cool. Also, another game that, published by Nintendo, I think. Published by Nintendo? No, published by Square Enix, but it's still one of those games that kind of is surprising to see go on sale, even if it's only a year out. So, neat. Next is Ooblets. Yeah, I can't tell you much about this game, but it's Ooblets by Fangamer. It looks like another farming sim, if I'm being honest with you. Your life has been a giant toot. That's the header on the back. So naturally, Ooblets. What's this next one? Ooh, Avatar: The Last Airbender: Quest for Balance. I did have a bunch of the Avatar games on older systems, but I realized I wasn't really playing them, so I ended up selling a lot of those. But this is a modern Avatar game. I remember the gameplay on those older Avatar games being pretty good, so I'm sure this one is just as fantastic. If you have never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the original run from the mid 2000s, strongly recommend going on Netflix, getting Paramount Plus, wherever it is, and binging it. It's winter break for a lot of people. You can get through Avatar in just a few days. So definitely take the time to watch Avatar. I also have it on my queue to binge again. I think it was a really popular binge in 2020 when everyone was home for the pandemic. So definitely take the time to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender if you have the opportunity. I'm just kind of picking and choosing at this point, but it's okay. Next one, Lego The Incredibles. Very much like the Lego Jurassic World game. Not a huge Lego fan, but it's The Incredibles. Disney. I'm a sucker for Disney. Maybe at some point I'll make a Disney video. Maybe, I don't know. Incredibles, Disney, Lego, Switch. Perfect storm. Also, Lego Edna on the back looks really, really funny. Next is, this one I actually think is hilarious. I am not super into superheroes. I remember seeing one Batman movie in maybe the early 2010s, maybe 10 years ago or so, whichever one it was at the time. I think it was Dark Knight Returns. Don't come after me. I don't know my superheroes. I don't think I've ever seen a Superman movie. I love Spider-Man, though. But Spider-Man is Marvel, right? I don't know. Sam Raimi Spider-Man, for the record. For you young people watching. That's okay. This one, I don't really like dogs either. I'm not really into superheroes, but this cover just got me. DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace. So all of you are looking at this cover going, he's a good boy. And I honestly wouldn't blame you, because that is the best artwork for a superhero dog I've ever seen in my life. So that's hilarious. I had to get it when I saw it because it was just too funny. So yeah, dogs and superheroes, the perfect storm of things that I'm really not into. Next one is a game I've heard of before. I don't know much about its origin, but it was one of the cheapest games available on Black Friday. So this is Immortals Phoenix Rising. And maybe it might even be Immortals Phoenix Rising. I don't know. But it just kind of looks like an open world battling game. I don't know how you can describe it. It looks like a pretty stock game nonetheless. But there you go. Cheap Switch games. Next one, definitely a game I'll never play. Man, these last few games are games that I already know are sitting on the shelf. That's okay. This is the Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection. I probably said that wrong. Is it the Ezio collection? I don't know. Again, super cheap, so that's why we buy it. And I'm kind of surprised this one doesn't say anything about download required, but I almost guarantee that it is. Oh yeah, there it is. Assassin's Creed 2 included on the cartridge. Other content available via download from the eShop. So you gotta download Brotherhood and Revelations to your Switch. I really hate that practice, but these things happen, I guess. I kind of refuse to buy games that are full game, it says full game download on the top of the cover, just because we got to preserve our games, man. 20 years from now, when my kid probably doesn't play Assassin's Creed, but he's like, let me play that Assassin's Creed game, and can't play it because the eShop closed down. Pretty sad. But there you go. Next one. This is a great title. Definitely one of the best titles in this video. I can't remember what I said the best title was before, but this might be up there. This is Lord Winklebottom Investigates. You heard that right. Lord Winklebottom Investigates. It's a point-and-click game. It's exactly as you would expect. You're investigating, and you're this giraffe named Lord Winklebottom. I don't know how it gets much better than that, but it does. Next one. Yeah, I just realized I was going through my Switch games just yesterday, and I realized I already have this game. So we got to figure this one out, but that's okay. Cobra Kai 2, Dojo's Rising. Cobra Kai I was super into a few years ago. There was somebody I watched the Cobra Kai series with. It's fantastic. I strongly recommend you watching it. But I don't watch this series anymore. But I bought the games because they're cheap. So, if you really want to play Cobra Kai 2, Dojo's Rising, let me know. I heard the games are pretty bad, but definitely recommend watching the show because the show is actually really good. Pretty sure it's owned by Netflix now. So definitely check that out if you are not checking out Avatar The Last Airbender. Next one is Peppa Pig World Adventures. So I believe it was last year that I got a Peppa Pig game. And apparently, in the time span of last year to this year, 2 more Peppa Pig games came out. This is one of them. The other one, it's in one of these packages, so we'll get to it when we get to it. But, Peppa Pig, it's a great meme. Doesn't everybody know the meme where she, just hangs up on her friend? Yeah, it's pretty funny. Peppa Pig. Next one, kind of left this one last in this package for a reason. But this is a game that my friends have been telling me to play for a really long time. One specific friend has been like, have you played it yet? Have you played it yet? Definitely a great homage to the original series, but this is SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake. So I grew up playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I finally beat it for the first time over the summer. So I'm really happy about that. And SpongeBob Cosmic Shake is another game in that style. So now I have it. Now I can finally play it. To the friend that's, definitely not watching this video, but I hope he knows that I can play SpongeBob Cosmic Shake now. So that's pretty cool. He says that if you're into the original SpongeBob that we grew up with, this is the game to play in 2023. So that's pretty cool. Next one, I literally just said that I don't buy full game download games, but I guess I broke my own rule. This is Chicken Range, but it's in this humongous box because it's got this little blaster. There were 2 Chicken Range bundles. One of them I'm pretty sure I got last year. There's a Chicken Range bundle that is this big, way bigger than this, has a way bigger blaster, has the physical game on it. This one is a budget version of it, and it finally got so cheap that I'm let me just get it because this is really funny. So, Chicken Range, full game download. How else do you want to spend your Christmas time? Okay, finally got through that package. 5 more. Let's do this one. Okay, next one. We got through the coolest limited run one, so I don't even remember what's in the other ones. Limited run cards. I should probably check the other limited run boxes. Sometimes their releases hand out limited run cards. So, probably got to get that at some point. Let me make sure I check those boxes, make sure I don't throw them out. A couple cool ones here. Arcade Classics Anniversary Collection. A couple of games on here that are a little obscure, so just kind of a good opportunity to get them onto modern systems. Life Force, which is better known as also known as Salamander. Salamander might make an appearance in Nihon no Kuni Henshokai. I am pretty sure. Typhoon or Ajax, Nemesis, better known as Gradius. Chris from Rewind Arcade is going crazy right now. I know he loves Gradius. Vulcan Adventure or Gradius 2. Haunted Castle, Twin Bee, which I've heard of Twin Bee before. I think I have at least one Twin Bee game. Those are pretty cool. Scramble and Thundercross. So just kind of a neat way to get a bunch of really cool, obscure Konami. Not really obscure. Gradius is not that obscure, but cool way to get some Konami arcade classics onto the Switch. Next one is, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm a sucker for Atari. Just straight out of nostalgia. I also think Atari owned, I don't think owns anymore, but owned Humongous Games, which was the company that did the Humongous Game collection that I was going crazy for just a few minutes ago. This is Atari Mania, where I believe you are just kind of playing as characters from the Atari universe. Not that a lot of them are actual characters because they were mostly just arcade games, but nonetheless, I believe you're playing a game in an Atari style in the Atari universe, which is pretty cool. So Atari Mania. Next one is a game that was announced in a limited run direct, had to be 2022 for the eShop, and then limited run did the physical release, and this is Radiant Silvergun. This is a shmup that I think initially released on the Saturn. If not the Saturn, not too far behind that. But it's a very pretty shmup. I think it was a little out of its time, if I'm not mistaken. So it was brought to the Switch digitally, and then Limited Run said, let's make that physical. So Radiant Silvergun. I think there might have also been like a weird release schedule with that, because I feel like it was brought to the eShop and then was quickly taken down. Not 100% sure about that, but still, nonetheless, interesting footnote if that is true. Last one from this limited run order is Anno Mutation M. Mutation EM. There we go. That's how you say it. Become the Cyberpunk One Girl Army. Yeah, you could probably tell why I bought it. Cool. And the cards for Radiant Silvergun, Arcade Classics, and Anno Mutation. We'll get it down at some point, but at least we have the cards for it now. Where do we go next? Let's go here. That one came open easy. Okie dokie. Oh boy, I have a mess on my floor. Too many boxes and envelopes. That's okay. That's okay. Next one is Alchemic Cutie. Why there is alchemy and a small child is beyond me. Kind of looks like a jelly adventure awaits. Looks like an adventure RPG set on the colorful Wimba Island. While managing your farm, you'll tame wild jellies, meet villagers, and uncover the secrets of the island. It just kind of looks cool, but how could you not get past a name called Alchemic Cutie? Alchemy's funny. Up next is, I guess, kind of in the same vein as Alchemic Cutie, is a Potion Permit. I don't know where these games came from, man. These things happen. Diagnose, gather, brew, and cure in this open-ended sim RPG. So if one game is just creating chemicals, this one is using the chemicals to heal people. Yeah, it's an RPG. Unsurprising. Next one is, I've heard this game somewhere beforehand, but I don't remember where. But this is Clive and Wrench. I want to say Clive and Wrench came out on an older system, but I can't think of what that system is this very second. I can't remember. I don't remember. But you play as Clive and Wrench, a bunny and a monkey. It just looks awesome. How do you not like Clive and Wrench? A bunny and a monkey working together. Last one in this probably little bizarre of an order, that's fine, is Kataria Fables. Welcome to the world of Kataria. It's an RPG? Yeah, there you go. RPG adventure packed with farming and crafting. We're getting the idea here. Cool. We're almost there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Let's do this one. Also, this one is a big old box, and there's only I think 2 games in here. That's okay. Aha. Oh, well, it's in a big box because both games are in slightly bigger packages. That's okay. Okay, well, I mentioned before that we had Hello Neighbor, and I had to cover the label, but here's finally Hello Neighbor 2. It took us almost the entire video to get to Hello Neighbor 2, but there it is. And it's, this is a big box, and it's got a little insert. This one, the insert's actually inside, so that's a cool little release thing. So, pretty neat. Next one is a game I was actually super interested in when it came out. I don't remember 100% why it was super interesting, but this is Sonic Origins Plus. So Sonic Origins started on the eShop, and I believe it's just remastered 2D Sonic games, if I'm not mistaken, and new playable characters and 12 collector Game Gear titles. Cool. But it was only released on the eShop initially, with really weird options to buy it digitally, like different editions that came with different things. And we got to get away as a hobby of doing this really weird release stuff. Either do a standard edition and a deluxe edition, but get it physically without download codes, right? Kind of annoying, but I'm the sucker that's buying it, so I guess that's my fault. But finally it came to physical editions with Sonic Origins Plus. So it was on sale. I'm pretty sure it came out this year. Or I could be wrong again and it came out last year because I don't know when anything releases. It doesn't say. I don't know my years. That's okay. I think it's the year 2023. But Sonic Origins Plus, we now have physically. That is good for the hobby. Okay, 2 more packages. I know which one I want to leave for last, so we got to do this one. This one's slightly bigger than the other one. That's okay. We will get through it. We are getting there. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's a lot in here. All right, let me get some of these out. Oh boy. Oh boy. I hope the opening packages is attractive because I'm sure it looks fantastic. Okay, what's next? Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. Kind of a weird one that I've never ever seen before, or even ever heard of. But like the gameplay and the art looks very pretty, and that cover is also horrifying. So naturally, I was scared by it, so I bought it. That makes sense, right? Next one is Hoko Life, or it might be pronounced Hoko Life. Oh boy, there's a lot of text on this back. Cozy creativity awaits in the welcoming world of Hoko. Is it a farm sim? It's like Animal Crossing, but with fake Miis, kind of. I don't know. What's the next one? This is another great title. We probably should have made a battle for best title of the video, because this would definitely be up there. But this is Baba Is You, and Baba Is You is a puzzle game, as I'm reading it on the back. A puzzle game where the rules you have to follow are present as blocks you can interact with. By manipulating them, you can change how the game works, repurpose things you find in the levels, and cause surprising interactions. Baba Is You. Do I need to say anything else? Up next is a Haunted House, another Atari game. Just kind of funny to see a game called Haunted House with basically what's that, like not murder mystery, just the mystery show on Netflix. Oh my goodness. Kid looks like him. Oh my god, I can't think of it. Oh no. I've never seen it before, so that's my excuse. But yeah, you're probably all thinking it right away. Honestly, this looks like it could be The Quarry, but for kids. I've heard great things about The Quarry on PS5, I think PS4, PS5. And this looks like it could just be an Atari version of that for rated E. What is the name of that show? Stranger Things. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Stranger Things, but lacking the licensing. Next one. I didn't know anything about this game. It was just very cheap. And so I bought it. But then I think I saw on Nintendo Life, there was like Nintendo Life reported what Metacritic rated as the 10 worst Switch games of 2023. And this was on there, so that's actually kind of funny. Loop 8, Summer of Gods. This has to be an RPG, right? It has to be. I don't know how you look at this and say this is an RPG or maybe a visual novel for sure. Now that I'm looking at the back, so kind of funny to hear that. When I bought it, when I read that article, I was like, oh, that's in one of my packages in my room. I already know it. Next one is Autonauts. There's probably not much I can say about this one. I think there was like one review of this game and it was like a 1-star. So it's just kind of funny, but we buy cheap games. So here it is. Next one, we talked about Peppa Pig. We had My Friend Peppa Pig, the World Adventures, and now we have My Friend Peppa Pig Complete Edition. So it's kind of interesting because I didn't realize this game got like DLC or bonus content, but this one says Complete Edition, and the one I got last year does not say Complete Edition. So it's really funny to have a game like My Friend Peppa Pig that is definitely just like a budget title for kids have DLC of some sort. I doubt it was paid DLC, but like still very funny. So now I have the original and the updated version of the game. At least it's on a cartridge. At least who did this? Outright Games. At least they're doing it right, putting it on the cartridge. Hopefully. Next one is Jumanji: Wild Adventures. I kind of got into like Jumanji, the new Jumanji movies and Jurassic World around the same time. And listen, Jumanji, the two new Jumanjis are actually like really good. say what you will about them. I really like them. I really like Jurassic World too. But the Jumanji movies are good. I bet the games are not nearly as good, but I do know that I have the first new Jumanji game is like, it's like in this humongous like collector's edition, which is just kind of funny. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, cool. Jumanji Wild Adventures. I do want to get I'm pretty sure there is a Jumanji like board game. I want to get it just for like the nostalgia, if you will. So that's pretty cool. But have it on Switch instead. What more do I need? Next one is Madison. This also looks horrifying. Wow, the back of the box is even more scary. I'm gonna have nightmares now, so I'm not even gonna look at it. But the camera front, a name like Madison, just this seemed like a perfect storm of things that I should get. I guess one of the developers is a Bloodiest Games. This might have been a mistake. What's next? Rune Factory 5. So I don't know if this is specifically one of them, but to nicely bash GameStop just a little bit, one of the games that was told was delivered but was not was a Rune Factory game. So that's kind of all I'm thinking of right now as I have Rune Factory 5 in my hands. They're kind of like, they are RPGs. I don't want to say they're like farming RPGs, but I know Rune Factory is a pretty popular series. The games are pretty expensive on older systems too. But Rune Factory 5. Not that I have the first 4. I think there's like a Rune Factory 3 special too, so I don't know much about the series. I'm not going to lie to you. Next, I don't remember buying this one. I don't remember putting this one in my cart, but you know what? We'll double check about it later. This is Adventure Academia, The Fractured Continent. I definitely have to check this one because I don't remember putting this into the cart or having it on the list. Yeah, I don't know how this could be any more of an RPG. Yeah, JRPG adventure. It says it on the back. It knows what it is. It's also kind of funny. A lot of these games have like French on the back too. Not even like Spanish, just French subtext as well. Cool, I guess. This is another funny one that I remember when it was announced and I'm like, oh, I got to buy it just for the name itself. But then like wasn't available anywhere. This is Curse of the Sea Rats. How do you not like that title? It's another great title. A hand-animated Ratoidvania adventure. So it's not a Metroidvania, it's a Ratoidvania. That's really funny. I'm not even gonna lie. I just think that's hilarious. What do we have next? Oh, this is an interesting one. I didn't realize it was going to come in a big box. Super Bullet Break, the Day 1 edition. This looks like an anime game if I've ever seen one. Collect over 160 cute and colorful bullets in this deck-building strategy roguelite. Okay. Was not ready to see roguelite on the back of this, or deck-building strategy. But it's in a big box. It's pretty neat. Yeah, cool. Why not? What's next? Not nearly as scary as Madison, but it's got a similarly scary title. This is Death's Door by Devolver. It's kind of hard to tell, I'm sure, in the video, but there's like a little chicken here holding a sword. That's kind of funny. And a name like Death's Door, it's a cool name. And funny characters on the front. There's also a big frog here, too. This is probably one of the best games of 2023. No doubt about it. 2022, actually. It came out last year. I don't know how to read names. Okay, I have heard about this next game before, and I actually gifted this game to somebody who I knew liked the series. Here's the thing, though. I had never played this series before until last night. We went to a family friend's house for Christmas Day, or Christmas dinner, if you will, and then they said, let's play Jackbox. So I played Jackbox for the first time last night, and it was funny because while I was playing it, I was like, I have Jackbox 7 waiting at home to be opened. So Jackbox 7 Party Pack. Who wants to play some party games together? So I remember gifting it to somebody years ago because she said she liked the series. So there it is. Next up is Eldorand. Yeah, it's just a cool name. I don't know what else to say about it. Neat. We want to keep getting through this video. Next up is Hotel Transylvania Scary Tale Adventures. Not Fairy Tale, Scary Tale. I have one of the Hotel Transylvania games. I remember before I even got a Switch, I think I bought 3 Switch games. One of them was because I knew my sister liked Hotel Transylvania, and she had a Switch. And this is the other Switch title released for Hotel Transylvania. It's Adam Sandler's Dracula. How do you not love that? So now I have both of them, I guess. Cool. Addiction. Next up is a game I haven't heard of. I had seen it come into the game store, but when I showed a friend like what games I was buying, she was like, "Oh, Akiba's Trip." I think I pronounced that right. Oh, I definitely would have said Akiba's Trip, but I think she said it that way. If I mispronounced it, please excuse me. But it's another big box. Undead and Undressed Director's Cut Day 1 Edition. You know, it's kind of easy to get into Day 1 editions, right? Or you know, fun editions like that, especially when they come in big boxes like this. Next up is this is a great one. I wrapped all of my presents this year in this wrapping. So this is a Baby Shark Sing and Swim Party. I wrapped all my presents in Baby Shark wrapping paper, which is hilarious. And now I have a Baby Shark game. I did not know they had one until I was Black Friday shopping for games. What's next? Loop Hero. There's Loop 8 and then Loop Hero. I don't know if the word loop has been in any video game ever before these two games came out, but now I have Loop 8, Summer of Gods, and Loop Hero. There's a loop. That's why it's called Loop Hero. Probably, I don't know. Next up is Geminos, Animal Pop Stars, which, not gonna lie to you, it looks like a rock band for furries. But it looks kind of funny. And it was really cheap. I think it was on clearance, whichever store I bought it. I think this was Target. But, you know, hilarious, right? Animal Pop Stars. Next up is Tin Hearts. And this game reminds me a lot of, I don't remember the name of the short, but I believe it was an old Pixar short where there was a, like, tin musical character. If I'm definitely not remembering that correctly. But I want to say there was a Pixar short that was like a little marching band character, pretty much like this, and it reminded me a ton of that. It was super cheap, so I bought it. But yeah, Tin Hearts. I'm trying to, is it Tin Soldier? Toys? There was definitely a Pixar short that had to do with a character that looked almost identical to that. Next up, game I've heard really, really good things about. The same friend that, kind of funny, the same friend that told me to play SpongeBob Cosmic Shake is the same friend that told me to play Omori. It's a super interesting game, but apparently very depressing. And it looks really, really cool. And it finally went on sale. So I was like, I'm going to hop on that. So definitely not a game to play when you're in a good mood. Apparently a game to play when you're in a bad mood. I don't know. That's what he said. So definitely I should give this a shot at some point, I guess, if I'm ever in a bad mood. Next up is Alice Gear Aegis CS? Concerto of Simulatrix. That's a cool title. Concerto of Simulatrix. Tournament 3D Battle Arena Anime Frenzy. Yeah, I think that sums it up. Okay, last one in this pile, and then we have one more package, and then we're calling it a day. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Last one in this package is Astronite, black and white. Ooh, the visuals are also in black and white. Metroidvania. Ooh. Astronite is a 1-bit Metroidvania that combines action, exploration, puzzles, and platforms. This might be one I have to get into sooner rather than later. That looks really cool. The gameplay on the back looks really cool too. 1-bit animation. It's based. All right. Last package. Again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope I have given you a reason to not have addiction, especially during Christmas time. But nonetheless, let's get into this last group of games. Like I said, I wrote what each package had just so I could keep better track of, if games came in or not, kind of to avoid what happened last year with GameStop. So I knew which game was in here, and definitely the game I've been most excited for in this entire package, in this entire haul, is in this package. So let's get through it right now. So Super Mega Baseball 4 is where we're going to start. There's no good baseball games on any other system besides like the PlayStation with that. Well, I mean, now we have MLB The Show, but it's a Sony game, right? It plays best on PS4, PS5. So we're still looking for that good game. I still haven't played it, but I have a friend that plays MLB 22, the show I think we're on now, right? Or is it 20? Must be 20. MLB 23, the show. But yeah, Super Mega Baseball 4. Probably the best baseball game I've ever seen. Next up, I don't have the original version of this game. I only have the sequel that only came out this year. This is Everybody 1-2 Switch. So 1-2 Switch is party game. I guess somewhere where We Play meets Jackbox, maybe. And this is the sequel that came out just this year. And I was really surprised when this was on sale. So I got this. I still don't have 1-2 Switch. At least I don't think so. I gotta check that. But now we have Everybody 1-2 Switch, which for its price point, I heard it gets the job done at its price point. But if it was any more expensive, it probably would not have gotten the job done. Next up is, I've talked a little bit about Story of Seasons before. This is Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. To very quickly go over the series, Story of Seasons is the new Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon became Story of Seasons, and what is currently now Harvest Moon is something kind of different. So if you're into the original Harvest Moon games, you now want to play Story of Seasons. So I got a few Story of Seasons games, like I said. Last year I got one with a cool insert that was like a little pink cow push, or whatever the character is in the games. Don't attack me. But yeah, Story of Seasons, Wonderful Life. I believe they're farming sims, right? That's kind of the Harvest Moon formula. Next up is another SpongeBob game, SpongeBob SquarePants Krusty Cook-Off, the Extra Krusty Edition. What are you doing in this game? Why does this look like a PC game? Join SpongeBob SquarePants on a hilariously culinary adventure through the kitchens of Bikini Bottom. I guess it's a cooking sim in the SpongeBob universe. It's almost like that makes sense. Okay, two more. This one came out June 2022, and it was not good. It did not come out to good reviews, and they did such a poor job with it that nobody wants to play it now. Very sad, because Mario sports titles need to be treated better. If there's one thing on my Switch successor wish list, it is definitely a Mario baseball game. But this isn't Mario Baseball. This is Mario Strikers Battle League. Not really a big fan of soccer to begin with, but yeah, they botched this. Not a lot of content in the game to begin with, not a lot of reason to play it. If nothing else, they should have just ported Mario Super Strikers. Super Mario Strikers? What's the GameCube game? What the heck? Super Mario Strikers, that's the GameCube title. They should have just ported that to the Switch. I think it would have done just as well. So kind of sad they botched this. I'm hoping that if they do a Mario baseball game again, which we absolutely deserve, because Mario Super Sluggers is one of my top 10 games of all time. Hopefully they do it better than what they did here. Also, we need a Mario hockey game at some point. That would be sick. Last but not least, the final game of this haul. It's a lot of games here. I think it was over 100 for sure. And there's a game that was supposed to come out April 2021, but April 2022? No, it's supposed to come out April 2022, but would end up releasing in April of this year, because in April 2022, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was 2021. Whatever the case was, when this game was set to be released, it was around the time that there were some not great world events going on, and based on the name of the title, they said, we're going to push this back indefinitely. This series began on Game Boy Advance, I believe, as Advance Wars, and then finally, this year, we got Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which is, I believe it's a remake of the original games for Game Boy Advance. There were some other games. I believe there was also games on the DS. I think they were mostly handheld. And then finally, we got a new Advance Wars here on the Switch. Gameplay looks great. It's a title I've wanted to try. It's the one game I paid for sure full price for, the full 60 bones for a Nintendo Switch title, Nintendo published Switch title. So I definitely wanted to get to this. I was hoping it would be on sale, because I believe it didn't sell well because it was getting pushed back. But nonetheless, glad to finally have this, and I'm really excited to play this. So with that said, on the day after Christmas, I hope everybody that celebrated Christmas had a great Christmas. If you celebrate other holidays like Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, I hope those were also great to you. Even if you don't celebrate, I hope you have a good New Year. If you don't celebrate New Year's, that's totally cool too. I hope whatever it is, I hope this time of the year is very relaxing for you all. I hope you, if you're on some sort of college break, I hope you have a good break, and I hope you can recharge your batteries for 2024. Fully intend to keep up videos into 2024. I know I bailed in October because I just didn't have time, but we'll find a workaround for getting videos out, because there's a lot of ideas I have that I definitely want to do. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out, and happy holidays, and see you soon. Bye.